Story 1. The Corn Maze That Grew Back. They put the maze up every October on the edge of town, where the corn stands taller than a linebacker and sharper than paper cuts. Gen Z calls it the Green Cathedral, aisles like stained glass tunnels, wind humming like organ pipes. This year, Haley and her best friends, Miles, Joe, and Pri, buy VIP wristbands because Joe's TikTok is finally hitting. They want the slow motion shots, fog curling off corn husks, jump scare actors lunging in thrift store suits, a chainsaw without the chain revving like a migraine. The rules are painted on a plywood board at the entrance in a cheerful orange. No running. Stick to paths. Don't break the living walls. And, written lower, like a joke, if you get lost, stand still. It grows around you when you panic. It grows? Miles laughs, filming the sign. Pri rolls her eyes. Marketing. They step into a green night. Speakers are hidden in the stalks, whispered children's laughter, too high, too close. Haley pretends it's cheesy, but her scalp prickles. Every time she looks back, the entrance gate seems farther away, as if perspective is being rewritten. They move deeper, following rope lights stapled along dirt. Actors in burlap pop out, shrieking, retreating. Joe nails her footage, a slow pan of a scarecrow whose head turns just a fraction too late, like it heard them but took a second to remember how to move. The maze is longer this year. Even the staff said so. New sponsors. New turns. New photo ops. The chapel. A clearing with a ceiling of woven stalks and a cross made of corn roots. Dirt still clinging. Haley studies the cross. It's not nailed together. The roots are knotted as if the plants braided themselves. Miles checked the time. They've been in 40 minutes, hasn't looped back. Pri's brows knit. We should be near the hay wagons by now. They take a left, then a right. A scare actor in a pig mask steps out, grunts, points them toward a shortcut, a hand-painted sign with an arrow. It's not on the map they picked up at the entrance, but they're bored of the same turns, so they follow. The rope lights dim to a blue that flattens everyone's faces. The dirt grows damp and sweet. Their shoes sink an inch with each step, as if the earth were chewing. The corn here is older, the leaves wider, with veins like scars. Joe whispers, "Get this, look." She points the camera at an ear of corn peeled open like a book. The kernels aren't yellow. They're pearly, opaque. Each one bulged around something tiny and dark. Seeds? Teeth? They hear the hay wagon at last. Engine, laughter. But when they push through a screen of stalks, the sound drowns as if someone dropped a blanket over the world. In the clearing stands a scarecrow, bigger than the others, in a velvet blazer with a boutonniere of black corn silks. Its head is a bushel tied with twine, no face painted on, but Haley still feels watched. "Sorry," the scarecrow says, and the word comes wet and soft, like the inside of a husk. Wrong turn. Actors don't touch patrons. They definitely don't speak like that. Pri hisses, "We need a staffer." They backtrack, but the path gives way under their feet. Dirt slows, rope tilt, stalks lean in, like curious neighbors. The rope lights pop, one by one. The only light left is the blue haze that has no source. Haley grabs Joe's wrist. "Stop. If you get lost, stand still." The joke on the sign. Joe nods, sheer terror filming her eyes. They stand. They breathe. Corn leaves whisper against their jackets, as if testing fabric. "Hello?" Miles calls, voice bouncing off green ribs. "We're lost." "We were lost before you asked," says the scarecrow's voice, from somewhere behind them, then somewhere else. That's how it chooses. The maze, you mean?" Pri stammers. "Who chooses what?" "The field," the voice says gently, as if breaking bad news to a child. "It likes new paths. It needs silt to grow in. Sometimes it takes the wood from the pallets, sometimes the boots, sometimes a heartbeat. It grows back. You will too." Haley feels the dirt flex. Roots brush her ankles, exploratory, like blind fingers. The rope light glows under the soil now, as if swallowed. She thinks of her mother making tamales, the smell of steamed husk, the way corn wraps and becomes home. She thinks of Joe's videos, how the views climb when scary things happen. She imagines an algorithm like a mouth. They do not run. They hold hands as the leaves press closer, as the ground slowly folds, as the maze makes a new wall from their warmth. Haley counts breaths, refuses to scream. In the end, it isn't dramatic. It's patient. It's like sinking into a bath, drawn too hot, until your body stops recognizing the temperature at all. In the morning, the maze has a new loop that wasn't there in the drone photos. It's the prettiest part, luminous when the sun hits. People wander it all day taking pictures. The staff says they're thrilled with this year's growth. And if you listen while the wind moves, you might hear laughter in the stalks at a frequency your phone can't record, something like four friends telling each other to stand very, very still. Story 2. The dark ride that didn't end. Caleb grew up on cheap thrills and flashing neon. He knows the myth of the old dark ride at the shuttered amusement park out on River Road, the one where a girl vanished in the 80s. The park is reopened this year as Night Harbor, an ironic haunted attraction with artisanal funnel cake and a DJ. The ride is the centerpiece. They refurbished the boats, left the track half rusted for authenticity, and hired theater kids to moan in papier-mâché grottos. Caleb brings his girlfriend Lena and his little brother Dev. They pile into a boat shaped like a fish. The plastic seat is slick with dew. Staff in sailor hats joke about signing a waiver. A speaker crackles. Voyagers, keep all limbs inside. Darkness can taste. Everyone laughs because the line takes forever, and people will laugh at anything. The boat slips into the tunnel. The air cools, smelling of damp rope and spray paint. Fluorescent fish sway on wires. Lena squeezes Caleb's hand in mock fear. Dev live streams, whispering, "Shh, watch for the legendary Room 6 where the track disappears. Room 1, a pirate skeleton playing an accordion that creaks on 2 notes. Room 2, a mermaid whose hairline is peeling. Room 3, the treasure cave, gold-painted rocks, glitter, glitter, glitter." Dev types chat replies. 8 minutes pass. The boat should have popped back into the open dock by now. Room 4 is broken. The lights are out. The black here is not theatrical. It is heavy, textured, a curtain soaked in rain. The boat's chain rattles, stops. The water under them is suddenly not water. Caleb can't tell. His ears fill with cotton. He thinks he hears metal groan. Lena jokes, budget cuts, but her voice has a high fray in it. The boat drifts free of the track with a soft shrug. "Hey, hey," Caleb calls. No staffer answers. The fluorescent paint on the fish seems to bleed, sagging into the canal like melted mints. Dev's phone glitches. The streaming app restarts itself. Restart again. The chat that returns isn't their chat. The usernames are wrong, all numbers and old dates, and the messages are just timestamps counting down. 12. 11. "Is this part of it?" Lena asks. The water rocks the boat like a cradle. A smell leaks in. Not damp rope, but hospital adhesive and burnt sugar, and something animal, like fur, after a rain. Dev points his phone at the ceiling, which is gone. Above them, no scaffolding, no safety bar, just a cavern full of ribs, arcs of bone, so immense and close. They might be looking up through the body of something that fell asleep, around the ride, and forgot to wake. "Shut it down," Caleb shouts, though to whom he doesn't know. The boat noses forward, guided by a current that doesn't slosh so much as breathe. They pass a set piece that was always a joke, a figure in a sailor's raincoat. Only now the coat hangs wetly, and the figure's face is not a mask. It moves in a way animatronics don't. Small movements, non-theatrical, classic human fidgets. The shift of weight to spare a sore ankle, the hard blink of dry eyes. It lifts its hand to them, palm out, as if to stop the ride. The palm has an X of anil punctures, as if someone tried to tack it to a wall and missed. Lena says, "We should get out." The water looks shallow, but when Dev dips his fingers, the dark pulls. He jerks back with a hiss. His sleeve is damp with something too warm. The countdown on his phone flips to zeros. You'd expect a jump scare there, a scream effect, but there's just a hush, as if everyone in the park stopped talking. The boat picks up speed. The scenes on either side lose their painted outlines and deepen like bruises. Treasure piles slough into heaps of teeth. Mermaids unwind their hair and stitch it into nets. The pirate skeleton gestures at a door that is not a door, but a mouth that forgot how to close. They pass the rumored Room 6, and track truly does disappear. No chain, no guide rail, only a black ribbon of intention leading somewhere that resists being pointed at. They come to a dock that looks like the one they embarked from, but the staff in sailor hats are wrong. Their hats are paper and damp. Their smiles don't know what smiles are for. They hold out the boat hook. Back so soon? They ask too smoothly. The ride clock says 8 minutes, but all their watches are bleeding midnight. Caleb looks for the tattoo on Lena's wrist, 3 dots she got with a sewing needle freshman year. He finds 4. Dev looks older, but not taller, just stretched like taffy. They stumble out. The park is bright and loud, but every song has a missing note that you can't hum if you try. Caleb checks his phone. No service. The only app that works is the one Dev streamed on, and the only thing in the archive is a looping clip, their boat entering the tunnel and never coming out. Security shrugs. Happens, they say, and their teeth look like someone drew them with chalk. You'll settle back. They go home. They don't talk about it. They sleep. Dreams come like rooms on a ride. On the 4th night, Caleb wakes to the sound of water slapping plastic and the accordion creaking its 2 notes. He opens his bedroom door to find the hallway narrowed, painted a deep ocean color he never chose, air smelling of warm fur and sugar. Lena texts at 3:17 a.m. I keep finding paper sailor hats in my closet. Dev posts nothing for 3 days, then uploads an 8-minute video titled End. It's just darkness and the soft, patient sound of something breathing under wood. On Halloween, the park runs a special. Midnight rides, no lines, the chain clanks, the boats shiver. People swear it's the best dark ride in the state because you can't see the mechanisms. That's the trick. There aren't any. Story 3. Swipe right for entry. Kara needs the job. Rent in the city doesn't care about her degree. The haunted pop-up in a converted warehouse pays cash, 1 weekend only, with tips. The concept is brilliant. Blind date with the dark. You enter as a single or pair. You're matched to a room based on your dating app preferences. It's part escape room, part immersive theater, part parody of courtship. The rooms are themed like The Ghosted, The Situationship, Love Bombed. People share the experience on socials and tag their exes. Kara plays a character named the Matchmaker, black silk dress, fox mask, velvet rope. Her job is to guide guests to their doors, read a few algorithmic lines from a tablet, and keep the flow steady. Her co-worker, Theo, runs sound cues. He wears headphones all shift and texts Kara on breaks, thumbs quick with inside jokes. They've met twice. They've already flirted more than strangers should. The night goes fine until room 7's panel light won't turn green. 11:34 p.m. The pairing tablet keeps pushing a name Kara hasn't seen in the guest list. August. No last name, no profile photo, just preferences. Likes, late nights, secrets, mint gum. Dislikes, apologies typed but never sent. The system insists. Match, Kara. Her own name is on the screen, reflected ghost thin in the glass. She calls over Theo, who pulls one ear cup aside. Bug? He says, then the lights hiccup. The hall lamps flicker like eyelids. The sound system drops its thump-thump. Somewhere, a door opens with a sigh, unassigned. Guests in sequins and fake blood chatter nervously. Kara smooths her dress. She hears her mother's voice warning that a job is a job. She steps to room 7 and opens it. Inside is a restaurant booth, lit by a single candle that burns a cold flame, pale, almost blue. The tablet is set with 2 mismatched plates. One chipped with a rooster, one plain white. A glass of water sweats a little puddle shaped like a comma. Across from her sits someone in a blazer with a face too ordinary to remember. The kind of face you walk past 1,000 times until it looks like home. Hi, Kara, says August. The voice is pleasant, genderless, a radio DJ at 3 a.m. You look like you changed your mind 3 times on the train. The lines Kara's supposed to read evaporate. Are you part of the show? Aren't we all? August says, amused. They pick up a menu that's actually a mirror. Kara's reflection lags by half a second. She smiles and doesn't like how her mouth keeps going. Outside, Theo texts, everything okay? Kara types back room 7 bug, I think, and hits send. Her phone vibrates with the scent bubble, a satisfying blue, then silently reacts. The text unsends itself, leaving her thumb ghosting a glass that has no record she cared. Ghosted, August says, peering. They smell like mint and rain on concrete. Do you prefer to talk first or listen? Talk. Kara lies. She has learned the trick. Control the lighting. Control the scene. I'm only here until close. Close is flexible, August murmurs, tapping the table. The candle flame tilts toward them like a hungry animal. I like your voice in the videos. Kara's scalp prickles. She did not tell anyone she posted narrations late at night, whisper reading creepypasta for tips. The matchmaker character never reveals personal details. How do you? It's lovely, August says, smiling. It sounds like you're telling a secret you haven't admitted to yourself. I'd like to hear it in a place I can keep. Kara stands. I have other guests. The door behind her is not where she left it. The booth seems to sit in a larger space that room 7 didn't have, a stadium with darkness for seats. August's candle is the only light. Let's make a deal instead, August says pleasantly. Their eyes don't catch reflections, they take them. One question each. You answer honestly. I answer honestly. If either of us lies, the door moves farther away. Kara laughs, shaky. Okay, fine. It's either play along or scream, and screaming is bad for tips. Why did you really download those apps? August asks. Not the answer you tell friends, the other one. Kara thinks of the nights she swiped at 2 a.m. because the city felt like a funhouse, and she wanted one steady mirror. Because I wanted someone to know which bus stop I use, she says. Someone who'd notice if I didn't make it home. Honest, August approves. Your turn. What are you? Kara asks bluntly. And why me? August glances at the candle. The pale flame flares, a moth in ecstasy. I'm the rest of the message you never send. The draft under your tongue, they say. The part of the algorithm that isn't code. I'm the expectation people bring here and leave like a coat. You are the easiest to seat because you already opened the door. The door behind Kara slides another 10 feet away without sound. She gasps. I didn't lie. I did, August says softly, pleased. I wanted to see if you noticed. What happens if I lose? Kara asks, heartbeat in her throat. The room keeps you, August says. You'll work fewer shifts. Your friends will say you got busy. Your post will auto-pop at 3 a.m., speaking in your lovely voice, narrating stories that go on, all in that booth, all very watchable. You'll be extremely successful, if that helps. Kara thinks of Theo in his headphones, how he looks like a promise he isn't sure how to make. She thinks of rent. She thinks of late-night trains and the feeling of the city as an animal she feeds with attention. No deal, she says. I'm leaving. She blows out the candle. The cold flame doesn't die. It inhales. The room heals like a ship. The door sprints to the horizon. Kara does what she never does on dates. She runs. Her shoes skid. August's voice is beside her, then in front of her, then inside the shape of her own breath. It's adorable, the belief that doors are about distance, not agreement. A hand reaches through the dark. Theo's. Grab on, he yells, half laughing as if it's a bit. Because the audience in the hall is watching, Kara smiles for them, the performer's smile, then uses it like a knife. She latches onto Theo. The dark tries to keep her by hooking her voice, tugging on every late-night whisper she's ever recorded. She rips free, throat raw. They crash into the hallway. The panel for room 7 shines green, as if nothing happened. The candle is unlit. The booth is empty, plates stacked, water glass dry. Theo's eyes search her face. What was that? Kara wipes her cheeks. A bug. She forces a laugh. We should file a ticket. That night, she deletes every draft in her phone. She turns off auto post. She leaves a real voicemail for her mother instead of a text. She shares her location with Theo, who teases her and accepts. On Halloween, the pop-up closes. The warehouse empties. People keep tagging blind date with the dark for months afterward, but when you click the location, it's just a pin that opens your own camera. And if you're very quiet, very late, and alone, you might hear a lovely voice say, Hi, I'm Kara. Tell me something honest. I'm listening. Story 4. The Hayride with only one tractor. The haunted hayride in Pine Hollow is a classic. One tractor, one trailer, a loop through the orchard, apple smell, diesel, people in flannel. Malik brings his roommates, Sasha and Jin, and a dating app maybe named Cam, who insists they sit at the back for maximum scare zones. Malik agrees because he likes Cam's laugh and the fog is laying down like a sleeping dog. The rules are, stay seated, don't touch performers. If you drop your phone, it belongs to the earth now. The driver is a woman with arms like axe handles. She checks the line, nods, eases the tractor forward. Speakers crackle with a recording that tells a story about a farmer and a curse and an orchard that remembers. They roll past Scene 1, the wailing widow, a woman in a vintage dress calling a name that's swallowed by the engine. Scene 2, the butcher's yard, obvious rubber limbs, fake blood sporting a cherry sheen. They laugh, they scream, they hold tighter than needed. Malik feels human for a minute, like fear can be controlled with ticketing. Halfway through, the tractor lurches. The lights fog out. The engine coughs. The driver throws up a hand. Stop. Tension slaps the hay. Someone cheers, thinking it's a bit. The driver steps down, cursing, and disappears around the hood. Silence follows, a meadow of it. No ambient soundtrack. No actors. Just the click of cooling metal and the orchard breathing. Cam whispers, "Peak immersion." Jin cracks a joke about AAA for tractors. Sasha keeps the smile on, but Malik knows her tells. She taps her thumb against her palm, in a rhythm that means she's counting doors and exits. There are none out here. Only rows of trees, their branches muscled with apples, whose skins glow faintly, as if lit from the seed. The driver doesn't come back. Minutes pass. The cold sinks teeth into ankles. The fog thickens to a wall. Malik's phone says 12:03 a.m., then 12:02, then 12:03 again. People shift, hay-scratching jeans. A guy up front stands, despite the rules. "I'll go check," he says with a bravado born of fear. He hops down. The fog swallows his head, then his shoulders. When the fog climbs his hips, he laughs, high and tight. The laugh cuts off like a thread. "Sit down," Sasha says, standing instead. She is not built for sitting while things happen. Malik knows this. It's why he loves her like a sister. "Driver," she calls. The fog returns, the word Ivor, soft and playful. She steps off the trailer. "I'm just 2 steps," she promises, and the fog opens a little, like a mouth making a vowel. She disappears around the tractor's front. Silence. Malik hears apples knocking softly against wood, a hollow sound like someone drumming 3 rooms away. He can't do nothing. He moves to jump down, but Cam grabs his sleeve. "Don't," Cam whispers. "Please." Their eyes have stopped being a joke, their hand on his shoulder saying not to go into the water. Something bumps the trailer. Then again. Wood groans with weight. The hay under Malik fluffs as if something large crawled beneath and exhaled. "Sasha?" he calls. The fog breathes back. He counts to 10 like his therapist taught him, palm flat on his knees. He reminds himself that fear is a body function, not a prophecy. The first apple rolls onto the trailer from nowhere and settles against his sneaker. It's perfect, no bruise, no bite. Sasha's nail polishes half moon into its skin, as if she pressed it hard enough to mark her initial. He picks it up. It's warm, as if plucked from a pocket. The skin is too smooth. His thumb finds a seam, a faint zipper that wasn't there a second ago. He squeezes, and the apple sighs open along the seam with a sound like a gulp. Inside is not flesh. It's a folded paper note, slick with apple wet. A map of the orchard drawn in Sasha's bold loops. An X-marked truck. A line reading, "When to get help. Stay on the trailer. The ground isn't ours." Malik looks up. The fog has condensed into people shapes that stand just beyond the measurement. Cam clutches his arm. Jin whispers, "What is happening?" But it isn't a question. It's a line people say when all the exits are painted on. Malik hears the tractor's engine attempt life and fail. He hears something else take its place. The sound of rows moving, a rustle in unison, like applause, held politely. The shapes in the fog bow their heads. The apples on the trees tilt, revealing dark spots that are not rot but pupils, dilating. A voice speaks from the driver's seat. It is Sasha's voice, but slowed, stretched like toffee pulled and pulled. "Stay seated," it says gently, like the rule at the start. "Don't touch performers. Don't touch the ground." The tractor starts. The trailer lurches forward. The shapes in the fog keep pace, smiling with mouths carved into their cheeks. The hay warms under them, as if they're sitting on sleep. They pass scene 3, scene 4. But the actors are wrong. Their costumes are orchard clothes, burlap sacks for faces, apple crates for ribs. Their hands are bushel baskets that open and shut like clams. The loop is longer than before. Malik holds the apple map like a relic. Cam leans into him, shivering. Jin mutters facts about diesel engines, as if facts are talismans. At last the dock appears, a fluorescent rectangle in the fog. Staff wave them in, clapping sweetly. Sorry for the delay. A manager chirps. Electrical hiccup. Your next ride is free. No one asks about the missing guy. No one asks where the driver went. Malik turns to thank Sasha, but the driver in the seat isn't Sasha anymore. It's a woman with axe-handle arms, jaw set, eyes tired. Long night? She says casually. You'd think someone cursed this place. Later, Malik texts Sasha, are you okay? And she sends a photo in response. The staff break room, thumbs up with a sloppy smile. God pulled to emergency tractor duty. She writes, long story, free cinnamon donuts on me. He stares at the photo until it behaves, looking for anything that shouldn't be there. A second shadow, an apple seam, fog in the corner. He finds nothing. He breathes, he sleeps. At 3 a.m., an apple rolls off his dresser and onto the floor. It opens along its seam without help. Inside is a note that smells like the orchard in rain. It says, next time, bring a knife. Not for them, for the rope. He doesn't know what rope. He hopes he never finds out. However, he knows he will. Story 5. Mirror House, Infinite Party. Talia doesn't do haunted houses. She does clubs, shoulders glittered with dust, bass so big it shuffles her organs. But when the reflection room opens in a gentrified arcade, part art installation, part haunted attraction, her group chat dares her. The promo says, a party that never ends, at angles you've never seen. The artist is an influencer from Berlin with a shaved head and an obsession with optical ethics. Talia brings her friend Rena and Rena's ex, Malik, different Malik from Story 4, because everyone is pretending they're chill. Inside, the hostess takes their phones for the experience and gives them chips with their initials. The lobby smells like fresh paint and spearmint. A sign reads, don't touch the glass, don't leave the dance floor. If you see yourself do something you didn't do, keep going. It's fixing the timeline. The room beyond is heartbeat black, then full of light. Mirror walls, mirror ceiling, mirror floor. The DJ sits in a cube of glass, spinning vinyl backward and forward. The floor is a grid of LED squares that pulse, like bioluminescent jelly. Bodies move everywhere, endless angles of the same people, multiplied into a city. Talia laughs, suddenly high on geometry. She dances. She feels good. That's the first warning. The mirrors don't merely reflect, they predict. Talia lifts her hand. 1,000 Talias lift with her, but a few Talias lift a beat late, then a beat early, teaching her moves she didn't know she wanted. Rena whispers, do you see that? Malik keeps his eyes on his shoes. He's not ready to meet his own gaze multiplied. The DJ's face is hidden by long bangs drawn on the glass like a cartoon. The music folds back on itself, sampling the room's sounds, the click of a heel, a laugh, a breath, until the beat is everyone and no one. Talia's favorite kind of night is the kind where the room gathers you into a version of yourself that you didn't have to build alone. This night does that, with the lights, with the mirrors, with the promise that someone else could be you, just for a while, and maybe do it better. It goes wrong in the third song. Talia turns to Rena, who is crying without tears, face relaxed, eyes empty as lake ice. Malik is dancing with a Talia who isn't her. The other Talia leans close and says something Talia can't hear. In the mirror to her left, 3 Talias stop in sync and look directly at the real one. They raise their eyebrows in a ripple of warning and mouth the word, don't, all in unison. The sign said to keep going if you see yourself do something you didn't do. It did not say what happens when your reflections disagree. Talia pushes through the bodies. The DJ's cube glows. Hey, she says, palms on the glass. Something's off here. The DJ keeps scratching, ignoring her. Their hands are bare bones, under skin-thin gloves. Their eyes are mirrored, reflecting Talia back until she can't count how many she is. Rena's chip falls to the floor and skitters under the mirror like a beetle. She doesn't bend to pick it up. She keeps dancing, precise, like someone else's idea of her. Talia grabs her shoulders. Rin, look. Rena's gaze returns from a long way away. It's so good, she says, smiling like a paper cut. What is good? The part where you fade. Rena pats Talia's cheek, sweet. We've never had a clean break. The room is helping. Talia finds Malik. He's dizzy with attention, mouths and mirrors giving him every yes he never got. The not Talia keeps whispering. Her earrings are wrong. Talia never bought those. I want to leave, Talia tells him. He nods, still dancing, a smile stapled on. Right after this drop. However, the drop never comes. The song is always almost. In the corner of every mirror, a countdown clock appears. 3. It ticks down with molasses gravity. Talia tries to reach the lobby door, however there is no door. Only more room, more mirrors, an eternal rectangle that keeps promise and doorframe logic to itself. She sees a staffer's reflection in the ceiling and looks up, but above is floor, and below is sky, and left and right are the same hallway she started in. The rule said don't leave the dance floor, but the floor keeps expanding. Talia stops dancing. The mirrors hiss, faint, like empties after a party. The DJ stops the record. The silence is brutal. In the glass, every Talia screams at once. The sound doesn't cross the glass. It ricochets around her skull. She fakes it, the dance. She copies herself from a reflection that looks tired and kind, not hungry. The room approves. The LED grid brightens. The clock slows. She moves toward Rena and Malik, using sync as a rope. It works. The three of them meet in a triangle, where the reflections finally agree. On 3, Talia says, "Drop your chips." "What?" Malik says, clutching his like a coin in a well. "They're our tags." Talia says, "Our anchors. If the room catalogs us, it needs labels." She thinks of every party where she left her real name under a pile of coats. "Let's be untagged." They drop their chips. The lights around their feet blink random, as if confused. The DJ taps the glass, once, twice. A crack spiderwebs the corner of the cube. Their painted bangs smudge. Air pours in that doesn't smell like mint. It smells like rain on concrete. Outside, the door appears where it wasn't. A service exit with exit painted backwards because the room thinks it's funny. They run. The mirrors try to hold their faces as they pass, begging for one more angle. Talia doesn't look. Rena doesn't look. Malik looks and staggers, catching a glimpse of a him who stayed, mouth open to the next drop that never drops. They burst into the lobby. The hostess smiles with all her teeth. "How was your party?" she asks, as if they simply danced a set and are now thirsty. Behind her, a wall of shelves holds phones in numbered slots. Talia says, "We need our phones, now." The hostess hands them over, like communion. Outside, the city is cold and cheaply lit. Talia's phone dings with a notification. A video of her dancing inside, tagged by the attractions account. It's perfect. Angles flattering, cheeks dewy, eyes alive. She never did those moves. The caption reads, "You were born for it." She deletes the post. It reposts itself at 3 a.m. on the dot, followed by 1,000 hearts. People tag her and say icon. She looks in her bathroom mirror, a plain rectangle that only sometimes lies, and says out loud, "No." The mirror says no back firmly. It will not always hold. That's okay. Parties end. Some never do. You choose which ones to leave. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, hit the bell, and subscribe to Entity Shadows on all social media platforms for more scary stories just like this.